What's the price of your silence? It's not peace. In case we haven't met yet, I'm Jess X Goh, and I'm the sole founder of Life in Confidence. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you got value from this video, please give it a like and comment below your insights and questions that you may have so I can best support you. And to share this video with your loved ones who are in need of support through trauma recovery. So let's get to it. Do you find yourself staying silent when you know you need to speak the truth? Perhaps you're holding yourself back because it feels disruptive, dramatic, or confrontational if you decide to do so, especially in public. And so I'm here to share with you that it is safe and it is okay to express your frustrations and your anger and your disappointment in a healthy, grounded, and contained manner. So how do we do this? It's about knowing what is a respectful way to express the discomfort inside of you. So for me, my boundaries are to never swear at someone because it's disrespectful and abusive, and to keep my concern or complaint straight to the point, and to get the other person to see my point of view why this isn't okay, or to be very direct in the instructions for them to do their job properly. So I'm going to give you my personal experiences on this for you to reflect. Where do you silence your voice in public or different situations where you perceive that it's rocking the boat and instead you need to keep the peace? So for instance, I booked an Uber ride with my beloved and we were on our way to a spiritual center for a breathwork event. And the Uber driver wasn't pleasant from the beginning. I can feel that this was purely a transaction for him. And I can see on the map through the Uber app that we were actually going into a retirement village instead of the spiritual center. So I had to correct the driver to go into a different direction as opposed to what Uber is showing him, because I know how to get there correctly because I've been in this situation a couple of times with other Didi and Uber drivers in the past, and I want to avoid that experience again. So I initiated that conversation and he seemed confused and irritated that I wanted to take him into a different direction, and I was explaining to him that we were going to a retirement village, so we need to go to this direction. And he asked, how far is this going to be? How much longer will this take? And from my perspective, this is not coming from a place of service. This is simply just a transaction. What's in it for me if I drove you into the right direction? And my partner made a comment, just calm down. Or how can you calm down? Or how can I support you in calming down? Oh, something along those lines. I couldn't exactly remember the exact thing that he was saying to me, but I remember him saying to calm down. And I kept explaining my instructions to the Uber driver. I didn't silence myself. And we finally got to the correct destination and we were there just on time for the event. And I left without saying thank you because it didn't feel right for me to do so, because if I was to say thank you, that means that I'm tolerating his poor customer service and communication skills. And for me, it doesn't sit right with me to say thank you to that. So I left and had to process that frustration that I've experienced with that driver at the breathwork event. Another situation was I was at a restaurant with a friend for lunch, and I ordered a pizza and it had hair in it. I only realized it when I was eating halfway through my pizza, and I found a piece of hair before I bit into that pizza. And the waitress noticed that I didn't finish my pizza, and I told her, this is the piece of hair, and this is the pizza it was on, and this is the second time I have found hair in your food. The first time was through takeaway container, and this time it's through a dining experience. And she said that she will bring her manager. She appeared quite scared of me or my complaint. Maybe it's something that she's not used to. And I spoke to the manager. It was pretty straightforward. She said that she would replace my pizza in full, and I requested for it to be takeaway. And I checked my pizza, there was no hair, everything was all good. And my friend made a comment about my way of expressing my complaint, is that she said to me, "You're bossy." And she made it like as if it was a joke. And I had no judgment around her feedback towards me, because I could clearly see straight away that this was a blind spot for her, that she too struggled to have the capacity to voice her complaints and her concerns or anything that's disrupting within her. So I gave her clarity where I was coming from. I said to her, I wouldn't want to eat my food that's been contaminated, especially if I'm paying for it as well. This is basically standard practice, and the fact that it happened 2 times already, this is not okay at all. Something has to be changed here. And she was able to reflect on what I shared with her, and she could see her blind spot where she didn't speak up for herself, where she silenced to keep the peace. And what has inspired me to start speaking up is actually when I was working in my last corporate job before running Life and Confidence full time. And I was an executive assistant to a CEO, and I noticed he would express his anger and frustration towards me. Perhaps it was a mistake that I made. And eventually I felt the need to say something about that, because I felt very uncomfortable with the way he was just expressing his anger. And he said to me, "There's nothing wrong with expressing my emotions. It's just what I need to do to get it out of my system. I feel it's actually a healthy way to let it go. And it's not like I'm being disrespectful towards you or I'm breaking any boundaries. I'm just expressing my frustration with what you did there." And I reflected on it. And I would have to say, he's been a really great teacher for me in expressing and processing my emotions in real time rather than suppressing it. He has been a really great role model for me, that it is okay to express these things in the workplace, as long as there are boundaries around that, where it's contained. And what showed up for me is that I noticed that version of myself back then was not comfortable with holding space for people's anger, because I had a lot of anger issues and struggled to hold space for my anger. And so my coping mechanism was, whenever I feel angry or frustrated, I would shut it down and suppress it, because I learned from my mother that it is not okay to be dramatic by expressing my emotions. And she still does that to this day. If I'm laughing really loud, she tells me to be quiet. And this is where I've learned this programming that it is not okay to express your feelings at any level, because it is disruptive, it is dramatic, it is chaotic, and it disrupts someone's nervous system. And I'm so grateful for these experiences, especially with my ex-boss, who has been such a great teacher for me in really having more confidence and faith in owning my feelings, to sit with them and process them and express them, so it's no longer being recycled in my system. And so I invite you to have a look at, where have you silenced yourself to keep the peace, to be a people pleaser, to be the peacemaker? Where have you learned that from in your family dynamic? And what can you do instead? These are some reflective journaling prompts that you can write down to really dive deeper into this aspect, where so many of us feel it is a blind spot, or we are aware of it, but we don't know how to address it. So start off with these reflective journaling prompts that I just shared with those 3 questions. And feel free to share in the comments below your answers or what you're getting out of this. If you find that this is a huge block for you, self-expression, being seen, being authentic, because of childhood programming and societal and cultural programming from the matrix, that we have to be compliant, robotic in order to fit in, then you might be interested in attending my Winter Solstice Ancestral Trauma Clearing Circle, whether it's live or watching the replay for 1 month, to do a lot of clearing through your ancestral lineage, through your mother and father line, with Sekhmet, who is a powerful goddess lioness who can help you break those shackles of conditioning, like she has for me and my clients. And if you like to learn more or to book your spot, you can click on the link below to do so. If you prefer a face-to-face experience, I am running my upcoming Transforming Trauma retreats and my Conscious Relationship workshop and Magnetic Woman workshop. So you can learn more about the details there and the locations that I'm running that at. So click on the link below to learn more about that. And you can also book your spot to attend, to shed away layers of armoring that is no longer serving you anymore, so you can truly rise in your divine power and leadership to create a life that you love, that is in alignment with you. If you prefer to work with me privately, I do run one-to-one, face-to-face, 1-day or 2-day trauma recovery retreats, just you and me in person, and it would be tailored according to your goals and needs, as well as with 1-month WhatsApp or Telegram support for you to move into the right direction. You can also work with me privately in a 3-month container online, just you and me, where you're going to move mountains and find your you. You will be a completely transformed person. You won't recognize yourself ever again by working with me in a 3-month container. It would be tailored and personalized to what you want to let go of, to process experiences in your timelines that you need closure, clearing with your childhood, ancestors, dark past lives, whatever is holding you back. That would be the focus of the container for you to live a life that is beyond your wildest imagination and dreams. Where so many of my clients have shared with me, I never ever thought that I could ever feel this way, feel confident, to experience so much clarity, to have a good night's sleep, to feel calm and at peace. Never ever thought that this would ever happen to me. And so if you are up for this, please watch my free webinar to learn more about my work. It's not for everyone. And to book a free clarity call to discern if this is right for you. So you can find all the links in the video description below. And you can also check out my inner child healing course, Transform Wombs into Wisdom, if you like to heal your inner children with the variety of different healing modalities and techniques that has helped my clients to achieve a breakthrough. And you can watch these pre-recorded videos at your own pace in the comfort of your own home. You can ask questions inside of the course and share what's showing up for you. So that is also another pathway for you, which you can learn more in the link below. So my love, what is the price of staying silent? Is the price self-abandonment? Is the price self-betrayal? Is the price suppression? Is the price denial? What is the price that you pay when you choose to silence yourself? This is the time to break away what is no longer serving you, so you can finally be at peace with yourself, with your thoughts, with your emotions, knowing that who you are is enough.